Hey guys, it's Cece, and today is Wednesday, and that means it is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. So, as you may have noticed if you looked at the title, and if you know what this week's theme is supposed to be, I'm not doing this week's theme. This week we were supposed to be doing book series that need more books, but after looking at my books I decided I'm pretty much happy with the number of books that are in the series at present. So I thought that I would go back in time and do one of the older themes from Top 5 Wednesday. So today I am going to be telling you my top 5 books that are over 500 pages. This is a topic from November back of last year, 2014, and it just sounded like a lot of fun to me, so that's what I'm going to be doing for you. I also just want to say before we get started that if I was to do just books over 500 pages, probably the last 4 Harry Potter books would make up a bulk of this list. So what I decided was that if there was going to be a series listed in my top 5, I was just going to have to pick my favorite of that series that was over 500 pages, so you wouldn't just get 4 Harry Potter books and something else. So, yeah, now we're gonna do this. Coming in at number 5. For number 5, I chose The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This book is 620 pages long, so much longer than 500 pages. I really liked this book, and it took me a really long time for people to convince me to read it, and then I ended up reading it in just a couple of days because I loved it so much. And it just remains to this day one of my favorite sci-fi books, so The Host is definitely one of those 5. Coming in at number 4. For number 4, I chose the longest book that I've ever read, and definitely the longest book I own, and that is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This book is 1,462 pages, at least this edition of the book is. This book took me 7 months to read. Not because I didn't like it, but because I just wasn't dedicated enough to reading at that point in my life, and so it took me a super long time to get through this, but I absolutely loved this book. I loved the fight scenes, I loved the adventure of it, and even though it is 1,400 pages long, it does pack quite a punch, and I really love this book. Coming in at number 3. For number 3, I picked Brissinger by Christopher Paolini, which is 763 pages long. This is the 3rd book in the Inheritance cycle, which I absolutely love, but Brissinger is my favorite book of the bunch. It has the most character development, it has the most well-developed plots, and I think it has some of the most interesting character interactions. Absolutely my favorite of the bunch. And quite a bulky one, though not as bulky as the final book, Inheritance. That thing is a monster. Coming in at number 2. For number 2, I chose Monsters of Men by Patrick Ness. This book has 603 pages, and it is the final book in the Chaos Walking trilogy, which is my second favorite series of all time. This book is so amazing. Monsters of Men is such a solid conclusion, and it's also one of the hardest I've ever cried while reading. It is an absolutely incredible story. Every word is important and essential to the plot, and I love the addition of certain new characters and perspectives in this book, which is one of my favorite things about the series, is all of the different perspectives you get and how it can kind of change your opinion on people who are fighting and the villains and sort of what that all means. I love the new perspectives that are added into this book. Absolutely amazing. One of my favorite final books in a series of all time. So good. And finally, number 1. For number 1, I chose kind of an obvious one. As you heard at the beginning of this, there was going to be a Harry Potter book on this list, and I could have picked any of the final 4 books, and the one that I decided upon was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. This 7th book in the series is 759 pages long, not the longest, but absolutely my favorite. This book is absolutely amazing, a perfect finale to the series. Every word is amazing. Every word makes me cry. There's so much that happens in this book. So there you go, guys. Those are my top 5 books that are over 500 pages long. These books are bulky, but pack an amazing punch and make every page worth it. I think that the point of a long book like that is that once you're finished, you don't regret putting in the extra time it took you to read a longer, bulkier book. So guys, what is your favorite book that is over 500 pages? Leave it in comments, let me know. There are some really great ones out there and some ones that I considered putting on this list but didn't make it. What are yours? And most of all, thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!